Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. The Champions League has come and gone, and we now have a new winner. There's a new name on the Champions League Golden Wall, and that name is not Arsenal. The name is Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain. Allez, allez, Paris. Allez, allez, Paris. What a night it was in Munich as they scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against an Inter Milan side. What went wrong for Inter Milan? I'm joined in the studio by two fantastic gentlemen, Onkani Sam on my left, and of course, Nonso Arinze on my right. Last week, watch this video and see what happened. They both said it was going to be an Inter Milan win. Nonso said it was not going to be it's just 1 or 2 goals. But let's watch this video and then see what transpired last week with our prediction. Our score prediction.
So prediction, I think I'm going with a 2-1. 2 Inter, 1 PSG.
2-1 Inter.
I go with a 1-0 victory, Inter Milan.
Well, the guys in the studio think it's Inter Milan's Champions League and it will be the Nerazzurris, if I'm not mistaken, who at the end of the day will win. But for me, I always want to tell you that go out there and enjoy good football. But the two guys have said internationally, but somehow, somewhere deep in my heart, I want a Paris Saint-Germain win. Maybe they lost their octopus touch, but let's come back to the studio. Onkani Sam, 5-0. What happened? What happened to your octopus touch?
No, let me go this way, right? I mean, thank you for calling me fantastic. At least finally. You don't give me better name. Fantastic gentleman. So I never knew I'm fantastic. No, I was telling you something off the air or off the camera. I said, if you listen to my analysis, I was just trying to contradict myself that day. I said, when it comes to potentials, PSG. But when it came to prediction, I knew what I was doing. Understand? I deliberately called Inter.
You had a soft
but
spot
I knew,
for
but
them.
I wanted them to win basically because of what happened to them. This is the second time in 3 years. Very, and basically probably because of the Achebi story. Battling with drugs, battling with gambling, he had cancer, survived it all. I feel that's the way of decorating somebody who has actually. I don't know, some people will say it's none of their business that he battled with all those addiction. Well, I understand, but cancer particularly, let me pick cancer. Battle with cancer, survive cancer at the age of 30 something, playing football at this level. I feel that would have actually been a very good way of decorating him. Sincerely speaking, that's one of those things. That's one of those soft spots I have for them. But we all know, like I said that day, was I shocked? Not at all. Was goal margin a shocker to me? Believe me, I know.
Okay. No, so
no, I didn't expect it though. I'm not saying I expected
We'll
5
come
goals,
back to
but
that.
it wasn't a shocker to me.
That's what I say. What happened? You predicted a slim scoreline.
Yeah, I did.
You always go slim, even though you're not slim.
Unfortunately, it was bogus.
They gave you what you
Exactly what
They gave you your
what I
size.
needed. Exactly, but come on, man. Too easy. That's the word, too
Yeah,
easy.
too easy.
Come on, that was an absolutely stroll in the park. The
Please,
worst final I've watched, and I'm rewatching in history, hopefully, because I don't want to watch that again. To be sincere with you, and at the 60th minute, I fell asleep. I woke up when we were listening to it. I'm confessing on live television. I was sleeping, and I woke up when they were raising the trophy. It was that too easy, and
Game was done and done in 20 minutes.
Exactly.
In 20 minutes.
And the thing that
First goal 12 minutes.
there was
second goal
nothing different about the style and tactics of Luis Enrique. Just the same thing. Get the ball to your centre back, play a straight ball in the middle, and then Raphinha turns and play a straight ball in between the two centre back, and those boys can't keep up. It kept on over and over and over again. See, what happened was that it was youth versus age versus like oldies.
It was also
They couldn't keep up. They needed glucose, man.
Okay. They needed glucose and they couldn't keep up. Last week, I asked the question, which player is the first player to win all European club competition? And of course, we put the question up on social media. And the answer to that question is Emerson Palmieri. Of course, Emerson won the Champions League, the Europa League, and the UEFA Super Cup with Chelsea, and went on to win the second edition of the Conference League with West Ham to become the first player. Onkani Sam did say Reece James. Of course, Reece James is yet to win the Europa League with Chelsea, though he won the Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, but it's not, and the Conference League, and has not won the, of course, Conference League. Now, this week's question is, and I'll come to the guys, Manchester City became the 9th team to win a treble in Europe. Now, 2 teams have won a treble outside Europe's top 5 league. Of course, a treble has been completed by Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Barcelona have all won European treble. But 2 teams outside Europe top 5 league have also won a treble. Which teams are they? Nonto?
Olympiacos?
No.
Olympiacos are in Europe now.
Won in treble.
Top five.
So they are not
outside
so
Europe.
outside Europe top 5. Olympiacos are not Europe top 5. So
okay.
we're talking
Outside
of
Europe top 5.
outside
Okay.
Europe top 5.
Okay.
They won the Champions League that season.
Okay.
They won their league title and they also won the cup title. 2 teams.
Now outside Europe top 5, right? But
Yes.
Europe.
But
After
Europe,
Europe, top 5
okay.
Europe. Wow.
I think it's easy. Ajax is number 1.
Ajax?
Ajax?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Ajax is number
there,
1.
yeah.
I'm just so sure of that. I doubt if
No, Ajax is not number 1.
Ajax is one of them.
Ajax is wrong.
Ajax is one of them because I know Ajax have won Champions League. Same year they won their own league.
Ajax
I don't know
did
if they.
double.
Well, fine.
That's why
They
they
did
did
a
not a
double.
treble.
Okay, they did a double.
Not a
Ajax,
treble.
Not a
Ajax did a
treble.
double.
Only I think who did a treble. Fiorentina.
No.
Fiorentina is in
done one in
Is it top?
Champions
Is it
no,
top?
Fiorentina is in top
top 5.
5 now.
Well, let's hear from you in the comment section. My guys in the studio cannot build themselves out.
No.
Let's hear
Just
from
give
you.
me a little time, right?
Okay, let's
Just-
give Okani Sam a little
Just
time.
give me a little time. Okay.
If I give a clue,
Feyenoord.
if I give a clue,
Feyenoord.
Is it
no,
Fey-
the answer is not Feyenoord.
PSV?
Well, PSV is one.
PSV.
Yeah,
yes,
PSV.
yes.
PSV is
So,
one.
at least I've gotten one. And like I promise you, you're not going to mess me up this time today. I will surely get something right. Well, probably because of the multi option you gave me though. If you actually stick to your just one option, maybe I wouldn't have gotten it right. Because Ajax was the first thing that came to my mind.
man,
The
this
PSG, Feyenoord and PSG too. I know they did well
No,
at
yeah,
some point
at
in
some
Europe.
point,
Yeah, so I think PSV, yes. But the second team, that I can tell you, my mind cannot go to anywhere right now.
Well, of course, we want to hear from you in the comment section. Which team outside Europe top 5 league has also won a treble? Now, Paris Saint-Germain became the 9th team to win a treble. So, which team outside Europe's top 5
And just to add it
also
up,
completed a treble?
And just
now, a clue to that question, even though my guys in the studio can no longer answer, a clue to that is that the team is in the United Kingdom. Now, let's come back to the studio and let's
no,
talk.
let me just add something.
I
towards you.
know where it's coming from.
I know, let me just add something. 9 teams, right?
Yeah.
But guess who's going to be the 10th team? Arsenal.
Well, we wait to see. Well, I laugh in Swahili. Let me laugh Swahili laugh. Well, let's see what Arsenal can do. But of course, if you can guess the team, since the guys will not get to, you watch this video, of course, I know. Also, do you want to try?
No, don't bother.
I've called the team.
Let's leave it till the fans.
I've called a team in the United Kingdom. Do you
Yeah,
want to
that's
try?
why I
So which team?
don't want to say it. Let
Is
the
it the
fans.
United Kingdom?
I want the fans to try.
Let's allow the fans
Let's let the fans
to-
to try.
Okay, let's let the fans
Let the
try.
fans do
Well, let's
it.
come back to the studio, guys. Let's talk about the Champions League proper. A 5-0 thrashing in the final.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to go to PSG. Let's start with Inter Milan.
Yep.
What happened to Inter?
But
What
that's like-
went wrong?
Everything.
With Simone Inzaghi.
I think-
And what went wrong on the
I
night?
think
of the league?
I want to start with, before he lets him speak, I want to use the word of Simone Inzaghi himself. The worst team lost. It's that bad.
Yeah, it is.
As at the 70th minute, they had
is.
no shot on target. I think their first meaningful chance was Thuram when he forced them to a low save. It's disgusting. I don't know how the fans managed to watch that for 90 minutes.
Come on, if I
was
was
boring.
crying.
So many were crying. Now here is it, right? Let me take it down.
I felt for them.
Let me take it down memory lane a little. They had a wonderful performance during the group stage.
Absolutely.
Not wonderful performance, but they have a wonderful.
A far better performance than PSG, by far.
Now here is it, right? Yeah, far better.
PSG was not in the top 20.
Far better performance. They were not dominant. They were scoring 1-2 goals.
Yeah, but
Then
winning
they
their
defend
games,
very
that's all.
And we spoke about their defensive
Defensive
ability. You understand their defensive capacity.
Yeah.
Now fast forward to the group stage. I mean to the knockout stage
They started considering
against Bayern. They considered home and away. Mind you, against Arsenal, they scored 1 goal and they locked up. Arsenal
Yeah.
didn't do anything. Arsenal had a lot of shot on target and blah blah. They
It didn't
couldn't.
just happen.
Against Bayern, they considered in all, they considered I think about 4 against Bayern, right?
Yeah.
Was it 4? Yeah, 4.
Against
Because
Bayern.
they did
No, 3.
okay,
2-1,
Yeah,
2-1,
two.
and then
against Barcelona, they considered 6, making it 9. Then that was when I realized that okay, this team is good. But if you have a team that knows what they're doing, to unlock this team is very easy. In the middle, this team is almost dead.
It's dead. No, please. It's not almost dead. It's
They don't have any-
it's epileptic.
When I hear people shout about DiMarco, when I hear people shout about
Dumfries,
Dumfries, when I hear people shout about what's his name?
Chanoglu,
Chanoglu,
and of course
and the rest of
Mkhitaryan.
them, Mkhitaryan. I always have never, like I always say, each time I speak about this team, speak about their defensive prowess.
That's their strength.
And their offense. Their
counter-attacking spirit.
The guys up front.
That's it.
Thuram
One chance, one goal. Yeah, and then
it means if you can dominate them in the midfield, there's going to be so much pressure on the defense.
Just give them the chance.
The defense will surely break down. And that's what we saw that day. It wasn't even difficult. The pressure was not even much. We're talking about the first 12 minutes. So I guess Inter. What's his name? PSV. I was expecting, sincerely speaking, with all sincerity, I knew PSG is going to win this game, but I didn't expect it to be that easy. But after conceding 6 against Barca, I had my reservation about this team almost immediately. And I was telling people, if Arsenal can go past PSV, Arsenal is winning this Champions League, because an Inter Milan side that I've actually been watching will not. And I keep asking myself this question: how did Barca bottle this opportunity? How did they mess it up? Because Barca have no reason. If this guy will concede 5 in the final, I'm on the 3 finals we've actually watched this season. The Conference League, the UEFA. This is the most boring.
I think the Conference League was more competitive.
The people I was watching it with, they were like, I was even asking them, I'll be on a bet. This one, when they worried like this. I mean, I expected this. You understand?
Maybe they play go.
You understand?
Both teams to score.
So I think the better side win.
Yeah,
and the worst side lost. You understand? They have an answer to that performance that day. They didn't come to the party completely, and they make it so easy, and they make it so boring, and they make it. It reminds me of what I watched. I think how many years ago, the Mandzukic team of Juve
against Barcelona.
Madrid.
Barcelona was even worse because it was one more side. Barcelona Juve.
I'm talking about the final.
Yeah.
But okay, Barca Juve. Okay.
Barca Juve.
The
MSN.
My mind went to that Bayern. Madrid Juve. 4-1 Abi.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So it happens. This team is not deep enough. It means they punched above their weight all through the season. And you can actually see what happened in their domestic league. The last 4-5 matches they lost were matches that they were supposed to win. Teams that were in relegation zone, they were actually getting a draw, a points, or they were losing to those teams. Let's
be realistic. These guys had no legs. Like I told you, it was one way. I was watching the game, like you know when you're repeating an equation over and over again, and it's just getting the same results. Achebi looked like he's finished. I think Bakula sent him to retirement. I think that's the height of it.
I mean, that's easy. All they expect.
And the boys, they kept on piling. The legs couldn't go. Barella, Dumfries, they looked leggy. And then
before the end of the game, everybody in the midfield was replaced. Before the end of the game,
Inzaghi saw the loophole. He tried to fix it.
Yes, Mkhitaryan,
Çalhanoğlu.
The only person that stays till the end was
Barella.
No, Dumfries.
Barella.
Okay, Barella. Yeah, Dumfries.
He tried to fix it. It was not fixable. Simone knew what the problem was.
Lautaro Martinez was a passenger.
Wasn't the passenger.
It was so frustrating.
Thuram was even the best player in the pitch for them. He was trying to at least make something happen. Barella was working hard. Thuram was getting the chances. At the end of the day, let's be sincere. It just tells us 2 things. One, Simone has a very aged team. This might be.
That doesn't make him a bad coach.
No, I think he has an aged team.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the end. If he's going to stay, which I hear that Giuseppe Morata, the owner of the club, say he wants him to stay and continue, then he needs to overhaul a lot of players. You are playing. Look at the
how do you overhaul? Now we point out something in the preview that 7 of the players in 2023 are still in this team.
Yeah.
So for what it is, it should have consistency with these players, whether I like it or not.
No, but age will
play a very important role.
Now here's it.
Do is 19.
So
chasing a man of 36. So I can give that to him.
How do you go from losing 1-0 to losing 5-0 with 70%, 75% of the same players that appeared on the biggest stage 2 years ago?
The answer is age. They can't
Simple.
They can't keep up. Like I said in the beginning, they can't keep up.
See, they have a small problem to Chelsea. With them, we're talking about age, right? With Chelsea, we're talking about age too.
Yeah.
Just that 2 different ages.
Now,
Chelsea cannot bring in more like that. Chelsea cannot bring in more than 4 players, right?
Yeah.
Because of PSR.
Yeah.
Now, the same thing with with Inter. I don't know, you saw the evaluation from the Budapest benchmark group last week.
Yeah.
I think they're about 18 they have 17 or 18.
They're not in the top 10.
By valuation, they are not in top 10. They are 14, 15.
That means even the players there who should be sold don't have value.
That's what it means.
That's one thing. So, and how many of them will you sell? Because you are still fine. Get to the Champions League.
Who you sell someone to?
Now, get to the Champions League final must actually put in extra money into their coffers, right? But fine. So, how much are you going to spend? You cannot take out more than 5-6 players.
You can't overstretch your budget.
Even if you take out more than 5-6 players, you can't bring in
more than 5-6 players.
Straight.
Exactly.
Because definitely you're going to be violating the PSR.
All right, let's go to Simone Inzaghi quickly. We'll do it in short time. Now, like you rightly mentioned, they want to speak to him and talk about his future. Now, you lose 2 finals in 3 years. It's not fun, you know. From almost winning a treble to going on winning nothing and disgracing the club, because that's what it means 5-0. It's a disgrace whether I would like it
History
or not.
was made
I
that
wonder,
day.
history was
I wonder
made.
if the fans had
So
got
what's the
safely.
is there a chance for Simone Inzaghi to continue? Because personally, I look at it. He's only won the Serie A once.
The
With
club,
the club. I won the Coppa
How many years
Italia.
has he been there?
I
This
won
is
the Coppa
30 now.
Italia.
the club wants him to stay.
Was he the guy in the final
See-
last 2 years?
Yes, he was in the final.
Okay, he came after.
He came.
Conte
Yeah, he
left,
was
right?
in the
Yes.
final last.
He was the one who lost the final to
Okay,
Man City.
that was his first year.
Yes.
This is 3 years now.
2 years
down the
later,
line.
he's still losing the final, but this time
Now
in
listen
a
to me
larger
now.
margin.
See, at times.
He joined in 2021. So this
2021.
is his 4th year.
Okay, this is 4th year.
This is his 4th year.
20
When did
Charge.
Conte? Okay, Conte won
left.
the
Conte
COVID version,
yes,
right?
COVID version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
he
version,
came
right?
from. He left
Chelsea.
He left. He left Lazio
Yes.
and came to Inter. So he came in 2021.
2021.
The summer of 2021. And
Then
right now, in his
2022,
fourth
he got to
season.
the final.
So
to
in
the
4
league.
seasons, he's
The
only-
first in 2
now-
finals.
Now
The
you
league
have
once.
now you have a manager that actually done that to you in 4 years with a team that is not bogus.
A team
With
that-
a very
when does
lame,
the
with a
Inter
very
win the
lame
final before
resources,
he came?
right?
Yeah.
The truth is this, right? I think it would be foolhardy of you to think
To
of
let him go, yeah.
letting this guy go.
Yeah.
So
Because
because that
get-
should stay.
Yes, of course, if you ask me, he should. He should. What do you have in that team right now? Nothing so much.
Yeah, I'm not talking
You
about the
have
quality
little
of
to do
I
with
think you're even going too far with the quality of the who should replace him. Who's the
No,
manager?
that's one thing.
It's not about letting go of a manager. Who's it?
I was actually getting to right.
Continuity.
No, about the continuity. You're letting him go, right? Who can replace him and
That's the
make
continuity. Make good
use
use
of
what
these
you have.
paltry resources that you have?
This guy is kind. He's modest. He's not powerful.
understand?
This is gibberish. I want to see it. But here's you rubbish that team.
You understand?
It looks like they
So
don't want
if you're
to
bringing, let's assume you want to bring a Conte back right now. How much are you going to sign a Conte? And how much do you have to
I
give
think
Conte to
Conte
come to the
will remain
market?
at Napoli.
No,
No,
I'm just trying to give
even
you
if he
an
stays.
example.
How about
I'm
they
just
going to
giving
give
you a
Conte to
simple
buy
example.
players that he wants?
How much are you going to give
Because Conte will not
Well,
have an Acerbi.
you might want to make a case for Conte because Conte would not won the Serie A.
Just with
He
Napoli.
didn't buy
Napoli.
much with Napoli.
He
understand?
got what he
He
needed.
didn't buy, but here's simple
He
truth,
got
right?
what he needed.
They got
Got what he
whether he
needed.
bought or he's
For a guy that go to the final twice,
Yes.
Champions final that matter, it means he has
He's
brought
doing
in
something
so
good.
much money.
Yes.
For a guy that won the league, for a guy that almost
He won the Coppa
Coppa
Italia.
Italia.
Coppa Italia
twice.
twice, he came close to winning the league again. He lost the league with just a point, I think, if I'm
yes.
not mistaken. Come on now. If Ateta did there after 5 years with nothing,
I don't talk say we don't ban Ateta as
No,
a
but
conversation.
let's
We
say-
don't ban wait.
I leave Ateta is having his holiday.
Well, because every
It's a
time
holiday. He has no club World Cup. Let him rest. Let's focus on people who are not having holidays like Chelsea. But the truth remains, come on, man. I think he should stay.
he should stay.
He should stay.
And
come
give
on.
him
Yeah,
more
he
time to
should,
build a
he
team. But when I mean build, I don't see a future of these players. Please, maybe somebody,
No,
maybe
the
my
next-
glasses is not deceiving me. I put it out. I still don't see a future.
So
of
put out
these
that
players.
glass. Put it
I
back.
still don't
Put
see
it
a
back.
future
Put it back.
with those players. Trust me.
It has to
Put
be
it back.
gradual.
Thank you.
It has to be the next 2 years.
Exactly,
It has to be
yes.
the next
That'll
2
give
years.
you
Well,
time.
let's see whether they, of course, Simone Inzaghi will remain at Inter Milan beyond this current, the season is over. Ahead of the new season.
Yeah.
I wait to see how that one will pan out. Guys, let's go to Paris Saint-Germain itself. Now, Luis Enrique, what a manager. Now, the second manager to win.
A treble, I think.
No.
Second manager
back to
treble.
back.
Yes.
Champions League
First-
with two
Two
clubs.
different clubs.
Two different clubs.
We did it and winning the treble also. Did it
Second
with
player,
Barcelona.
second coach
and
after
then
Pep,
did it
yeah.
with of course Inter
Milan,
Manchester
PSG.
PSG. I beg your pardon.
PSG,
Pep
Barcelona.
Guardiola did with Man City
And Barcelona.
and then Barcelona.
Yeah.
One thing is unique. They are both from Barcelona. Of course, the two managers that have
Played
done
for
this-
Barcelona.
Played for Barcelona.
Captain Barcelona.
Captain
And
coached
coached
Barcelona
Barcelona.
also. But Luis Enrique, what a
Barcelona
manager.
something.
You spoke about him. You said that is one man that many people don't look at.
Yeah, they don't look
But
at.
he's done.
When you talk about managers,
fantastic.
nobody
In fact,
call him.
What he's done is fantastic.
More than fantastic.
The guy on the
How do
other
you
see?
No, but I just want to say something funny here, right? You know, when you guys were talking, something just hit my brain. You remember what Mourinho said? He didn't want Inter to win the treble, so that he
break
didn't
his
break his
record,
record.
yes.
But I know the record of him winning champions back to back with two different clubs has been
Yeah,
broken, not once, not twice.
twice.
From a
Different
team
people.
that he dreaded so much. This is
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
From guys that have actually been through Barcelona process and they've won with Barcelona and one other club. I love seeing this kind of thing happening. And when we talk about him as a coach, right? I think the only time he had a bad coaching career, it was when he coached the national team.
Did he stay that long? I don't
Yeah,
think
but I mean, it wasn't that fantastic for him. And I think he came when they've actually hit their peak.
yes,
They were on a downward spiral. That was complacency.
There was diminishing returns. taking
In
its place,
diminishing return, which is natural. You get
Yeah.
to a point in life where
You
you have to
have
start
to go
all
down
over
and start
again.
again, yeah.
And so he went there at the wrong time. But that's
Just
the
like
part.
Abdul's hair. That was the flip side.
That's the part, right? Amazing coach.
Yeah.
When he took over that job, There was no noise about it. I think you talk about the job from
2023.
It's 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, 2023 from
in 2 years.
from
Thomas
Pochettino.
Tuchel.
No, you took
From
no.
Pochettino.
From
Pochettino, yeah,
From
Pochettino.
2 years.
No, not Pochettino. Some Galtier, Christopher Galtier or something.
That was on interim basis, but
yeah,
like,
of course.
yes.
He took over the job from
Yes.
Galtier. I think, if I'm not
On
mistaken.
interim basis, yeah.
It wasn't a story. It wasn't a news.
two
There was no noise about it.
No noise.
Nobody felt that something big happened. You
happened,
understand?
yes.
Then he started the process gradually. Then in 2 years, he has been able to transform this team. Take it or leave it. These teams are going to dominate Europe in the next 2 or 3 years. There'll be a first reckon. What we saw from Barcelona, and we saw from Madrid. Don't be surprised that what we've been talking about, that Madrid is the face and what they call it,
The team,
the heritage now,
yes.
the
culture,
Champions
the
League heritage.
Yeah.
It will soon, if what I saw is going to continue, and mind you, they still buy in. Mind you, they have resources. Mind you, they make so much money. They won the league, understand? The treble.
Mind you, they don't have a culture.
Now, they have a culture,
Yes.
right?
They did a quadruple, if
They
we
did
put it that way,
quadruple.
because the
Yeah.
League Cup, the French Cup, and the Champions League, and the
Like you
League
say, they have a culture that knows what he's doing, and he has created an identity.
That's the word there.
There's an identity. When you see this team, and that's what we're talking about. That's like when I see Arsenal fans shouting, but we're making progress. This is what progress is all about. Now, when you ask somebody, what is the identity of Arsenal when it comes to playing football? Nobody can say that.
There's no identity is Arteta.
No
He's doing
identity.
well.
Okay, next
Next
season.
season.
It's next
He's
season,
doing
right?
well. He's
Now,
doing well.
this is what coaches that know what they're doing do. And that's why I have issues, guys, like sincerely like the Maresca of this war, like the Amorim of this war. You can't tell me that you started a project, you've gone more than half, because
I'm more than half a season. Yeah,
he
16.
did 2 years, right?
Yes.
Maresca did full 1 year.
And look at
That
what
was
he's bringing.
not in the first 1 year that what was his name?
Antonio Conte won
No,
the league.
Enrique.
Enrique's first
Playing in
season.
that team, right?
Yes.
He already knew who I
What-
want,
who he was gonna let go.
I don't want,
Yes.
who to let go. And guess what? He did it with a less fancy
And they
side.
got to semi-final last season.
Yes.
Yeah. They got to. It was even how they lost to Dortmund. How Dortmund got to that
It's
final
still a
last year. For
miracle.
me, that was one of the biggest miracles of the century.
miracle.
Because how Dortmund got to final was
It's
a
still a
miracle to
miracle.
me. So the same coach knows what he's doing. Created a culture, created an identity. He has owners that support him so much that have told him that look,
Believe in their project.
just let's do something different. Remember, I said it last time. The bling era is gone. Let's do something different, and it's working. It must not be that way. It can be done differently, and we've seen how he's done differently.
And apart from the fact that we call him a genius, I think there's something we're not talking about.
Okay.
When I talk about a manager who will do well in this job, I would say a manager who is able to play to his strength.
Yeah.
Enrique didn't come and say, I want to take the Joko Bonito and bring the tiki-taka up. You know, what did he do? He saw what was happening there. What he did was just refine it. Add his own spice to what they were doing there. And the boys adapted. They're still playing their flea-flare football like when the Neymar was there.
Yeah.
With Due, the Bracolas. What they added was a bit of, speed. A bit of direction.
They could have
You know,
fought-
shocked you say
they
this
could
guy
afford
let
to
go
put-
and Ugarte that people were
Ugarte,
shouting
Ugarte,
about.
and he let him
And
go.
it looks like we're telling Man U fans here, we say, Omo, that one then sell una
That was a
dummy.
disaster.
Yes, now.
Because a guy that was bought for 60 million pounds,
And
then
let him go after 1
less
year.
than a year.
It's now worth
after 1 year,
almost
you let
50
him go.
million
And there
pounds.
was no direct replacement for him. What he did, he just
He
drafted
just
somebody.
drafted Vertinho and put
No,
him
not
on.
doing Vertinho. Fabian Ruiz.
Fabian Ruiz.
Ruiz was already there.
Yeah,
But what about Vertinho?
okay, he
became
drafted
another-
Vertinho.
Vertinho
and
became
Navas
another- that's
joined
all.
the midfield.
And Joe Navas, two young boys. They say if it's Atata, look at Atata. I mean, I have to bring him into this discussion. I'm not looking for midfielders who are tall and huge like Moreno, Granit Xhaka. Look at Joao Felix. These are different diminutive.
Joao
See,
Neves.
Joao
The
Neves
guy that
already-
surprised me the
Joao
most is Joao Neves.
Look
There
at
was something he
Vertinho.
did that I said
Very
somebody that
short
was
players
watching.
don't know what they are doing.
There was something he did that I was telling somebody close to me that was watching game that I remember this. He did exactly against Arsenal. Moreno. That was this what Moreno got. You understand that he was supposed to try and score that. The thing he was, he did. Look, these guys are just amazing.
Super amazing. And
Consistent.
simple. Play to the strength
they are
of
young.
what you have.
Now, if Chelsea is talking about age, this is what the young team does.
Let me explain to you now what a stupid coach would have done if he had a certain desired way. He would tell him to track back. Like a certain manager, I won't call his name, was Trent Hazard. You should track back and help with the defense. When you should keep that ball from there, causing damage and havoc. He allowed these boys to express themselves. They're kids.
They're kids.
They're kids.
Doing well.
So if it's not broken, don't fix it. Allow them play. Just add a little, touch here and there. And these guys are unplayable. I said the same thing. He just looked at the Inter Milan team. So Inter Milan team was well studied. This is the difference between the two managers.
Yeah.
Enrique had studied the team.
So Simeone had BSc. Enrique had.
No, Simone
PhD.
was feeling like, he's got a defense. Enrique told him, I know your Achilles heel. The Achilles heel is speed.
And I love one thing about
That's
him, right?
all.
He's also sure what he's doing. Against Arsenal, he said, I'm going to beat this team.
He said it.
That I understand this
he
very
said
well. I'm going
he's
to beat this
do
team.
it.
And he did. You understand?
Against-
And he did.
okay,
And
let me know what
against
we-
Inter,
that's why I
we
give
even
him-
spoke on his behalf here. We said, look, the person that has his back on
Back on the ground.
on the ground is Inter.
Yes.
And it came to pass. You
Yes.
understand? Even though our prediction, which for me it was deliberate, you
Deliberate,
understand?
yeah, but-
Probably, like I said, because of Achebi thing, you understand? I knew this guy knew
Let
what
me
he's
just
doing.
before we go. Let me just wow you. Against Arsenal, the first leg, what did he do? He came to attack. It was pound for pound.
Yeah.
He got that one every time at the Emirates Stadium.
Yeah.
Did you see the PSG at the Parc des Princes? It was a different team altogether.
Yeah.
Arsenal played. They scored.
And then they scored.
So the man plays to his own positions. He doesn't come and say, "Oh, as Wenger, one of the greatest man, I love him so much," but I think he's a stubborn man who needs tutoring. Maybe with age he will get better. He plays against Man United. The future is too bright. When he plays against West Ham, he plays the same way. He plays against Man City.
Yeah.
He plays against Man United. He plays against Liverpool.
Yeah,
he doesn't verify his game. He doesn't even care.
Yeah.
He wants to go pound and tell you I'm a good coach. My players are good enough.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting a beating.
He doesn't read the opponent the way he ought to.
You play to the strength of your team and to counter
the weakness of your opponent.
Like Jose Mourinho once historically called him, he's a specialist in. I will not add the ending part of Mourinho's statement.
Want to end the show?
I will not end it. But let's go to individual players because Desi Adaore, of course, Ousmane Dembélé, Raphinha, fantastic players. We cannot speak of, but let's look at the player of the season in the Champions League. Now, this is something that I don't know. I felt like it's somebody playing hanky-panky in the Champions League. Ousmane Dembélé, player of the season.
In the
UEFA Champions League, ahead of a Raphinha.
With what he
You want the trophy?
No.
It
Okay,
matters.
let's reverse this. No.
And in the final, he got an assist.
Let's reverse
he got an
this.
assist.
I'm not disputing that Ousmane Dembélé was fantastic.
See,
But
He's an
it's the
individual
Champions
award.
League
He's an
best
individual
player,
award.
not the player who started playing in January.
Yes.
At the start of the season, could you speak of Ousmane Dembélé?
No way.
The answer is no.
when
Now,
the last World Cup,
if Inter
the last World Cup. Sorry, before you continue, so that we will not do this. The last World Cup, when did Messi start playing?
the knockout phase.
So, and he was what?
No,
So
no,
what I'm
that's even a competition.
MVP means that a player who makes more impact.
So it's even a competition.
They better make more
Okay,
impact in the competition than the setting.
let's assume that
Whether it's for 3 minutes of a 4 minutes, but it's most impactful.
Also, let's assume that Inter won this title.
Yeah.
Will you tell me that the best player will be Asebi? Or Thuram?
No, it can't be true. I mean, it can't be Asebi.
Or
Now, let's
or
get it right.
Sommer.
No, let's get it right too. Let's get it right too. Raphinha had a good distance. How many
Yeah.
goals? 13 goals.
And
I'm coming now.
11 assists,
yeah.
I'm coming now. What's his name? Dembele. How many goals? 10 goals, if I'm not
goals,
mistaken.
yeah.
With how many? Good number of assists. And he was in the final.
And he has
So I think there is a basis for argument.
His goals and his assists were
It's
more
justified.
impactful than Raphinha, who scored like a
It's
truckload
justified.
in the group stages.
It's justified. You understand?
Like you said, he started in January. Look at what he has done. Look at what
When
he
I started in January,
what he has done.
and that was when everything changed.
That is when it
Dembele
happened.
finished on 8 goals.
Eight
Okay,
goals,
goals.
yes.
In the
Fine, sorry.
Champions
Raphinha
League.
finished how many
Raphinha
goals?
finished on 13 alongside Cyril Gurasi.
Yes.
Yes. But we're talking
Okay,
about.
can we say Gurasi is the player of the tournament? With all the goals, he was scoring 4 against
Dembele had
Make a
Dembele had
diagram.
6 assists.
Yes.
Raphinha had 8
8
assists.
assists.
I don't have issue. I understand.
Those
that.
are numbers.
What
Those
did
are
they amount
impact.
to? No, make a buzzing head someone.
Please
I,
help
you know,
us, help
I
us.
love
Help us.
bringing this analogy, right? I'm the follower of the NBA. I'm the follower of the NBA. This season was Jokic in numbers and statistics.
Yeah, but
It's Jokic's best
But they
season.
gave it to Shaq.
He was doing
Yeah.
29.9 points when it comes to scoring. He was doing 12.7 when it comes to assisting.
assists and rebound
I mean,
also.
no, rebound.
Rebound.
For assists, he was doing 10.2. Nobody.
Completely.
Mind you, 2 seasons ago, he scored more than 500 and more, 1,000 points and more than 500.
don't think I had a
So,
bad
he-
season.
so he was
I'm
doing
coming now.
consistently doing a triple double.
I'm coming now. You understand? With all this, he had 34 triple doubles.
Yeah.
He had the best. He made a history by scoring 61 points, and he did triple double. Nobody has ever done that. Doing a triple double with 61 points. Nobody in the history of NBA. Same thing. But this season is his base, right? But guess what happened? It went to Shai.
Shy. No.
Why?
no-
Shai performance is taking the team
to
to
the finals.
the final. Why Shai not? You understand? Shai performance is taking the team to where.
So
Where they want to be.
So now,
Deservedly for Ousmane Dembélé.
good enough. Shai was doing. Now I agree. When it comes to scoring, Shai scored more than him.
Yeah,
Shai was
30,
doing
30,
34.2
30 at least.
or thereabout. But when
Yeah.
it comes to rebound and assists, Shai was doing 5 and 6.
It wasn't. He never.
Yeah,
not
6.
there or whatever.
I think
He
6
was just an
rebound,
attacking
5
king. Yes.
this thing. But what happened? His performance.
Those
took this
points
thing.
were important to get this.
Those goals, those assists, those goals took this team to the final.
So
and
Dembele
Lamine-
had-
sincerely speaking,
I don't have
sincerely
an
speaking, for this
argument
competition,
with that. I don't have an
he
argument
Let's
was.
go to the team of the season quickly, where we had 7 Paris Saint-Germain players.
If I was
Jan Sommer,
if I was
of course,
wait,
goalkeeper
before
is
you
now
call the
okay.
list, if I'll be fine, and I'll bring out the Paris Saint-Germain's full team and just line it up. But
That would have been unfair.
I don't care, but
That
that's
would
what
have
it
been
is.
Now, let's look at the team of the season in the UEFA Champions League. Of course, Gianluca Donnarumma, I beg your pardon.
In goal.
In goal. Of course, Neves. We've got Bastoni, Marquinhos, and Achraf Hakimi in the midfield. Declan Rice, which I don't agree. Of course, Vitinha, Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, with Ousmane Dembélé, and of course, Desi Adaore, who set the record, the youngest player to score an assist in the UEFA Champions League, and also winning the young player of the season in the Champions League. in that starting lineup. Now, I don't have a problem with the entire with the
I
team.
do.
But
just
Declan
like the
Rice.
way you had issue with Declan Rice. Let me start with the person I have issue
Please,
with first.
start with.
McQueen, believe me, I'm going to replace him with Saliba.
Saliba?
Yes.
What about the crazy season?
In the Champions League ahead of
Go
Marquinhos?
conceded. Go and
Yes.
check it out.
We just said
I'm
impact.
coming now. Yeah, no, we know. So
Okay.
no, we're talking about a team now,
Team
not
now.
winning. We're talking about a team
But
now.
performance individual.
Performance individual. I mean, Rice that is there, did he win? Yeah, I mean, Lamela that is there, did he win?
But-
If that should be the
but-
case,
but-
no, I'm coming now. We
Even
would have
Declan
if
Rice
this-
also-
if this-
I was just talking
well,
about Declan
yeah,
Rice.
you're coming there. If
Tremendous one.
So Saliba should have replaced
Saliba
Marquinhos.
should have replaced Marquinhos. For me, I think that's where I have my major issue.
In the team of the
Saliba,
season.
yeah, Saliba should have actually replaced Marquinhos. Then I would have replaced Soma with
No, Donnarumma is goalkeeper, not Soma. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
Okay.
fine,
Donnarumma.
I accept
fine.
that all day.
No,
All day,
not
Donnarumma.
Soma.
Donnarumma is a
Wait.
beast, and they
No,
have
so-
when you see, like we said, there are
Declan
moments.
Rice.
There are moments in life that change a lot of things.
simple, just one moment.
Two free
Now,
kicks.
Declan Rice is there because of that moment.
Yes.
That's two free kick.
That
Those
moment,
moments.
it
Very
changed
key.
history.
See,
It changed a
what
lot.
about Declan Rice is that it's not just he's an English player that plays like a Spaniard. His ability to caress the ball, his pass
Man-
range, his goal scoring ability. He can do
Do you know the funny
everything
thing?
as a midfielder.
Do you know
And
the
that what
funny
makes
thing?
him- and, well,
Do you know the
yeah.
funny thing? Arsenal ended this Champions League season considering the least number of the first
Yes,
number of goals.
and the guy was in
So
that
why would you
midfield.
consider a team like that? Why would you
would
consider
you?
a player
Why would
from
you?
that distance? That's not because at the end of the day,
You consider Partey, but sometimes play right
at the end of the day, in
No,
the
I was
last, I'm
thinking
coming
of
now.
4-3-3 and
I am
put
coming
Gurasi
now.
there. Simple.
I'm coming now. See,
Gurasi
13
what?
goals in Champions League.
see.
You think it's
At the
easy?
end of the season, right? At the end of the season, right? When we're thinking, Inter has the tightest defense.
Yeah.
Inter considered almost 15 goals towards the end of the
Absolutely.
season. What's his name? PSG considered so much during the group stage that they
If I
considered more
enter
than
considered
Arsenal.
16 goals.
16
in
goals.
Champions
Brian
Yeah.
considered
The
less,
this
but the
thing.
guy's not there because why?
16
All
because
those
of-
clean-
right,
all those
fine.
clean sheets
It-
were
it-
not impactful.
We're not
It-
impactful.
Arsenal
It's
were knocked
crazy.
out
That
by
is
the
it.
Spiders.
It's crazy how Inter considered one goal
In the group
in
stage.
8 games.
In 8
5
games.
in the
And
knockout
went up
stages.
considering 10 goals.
No, wait. 5 before the finals. That is in the knockout stages.
crazy.
And then 5 in the finals. That tells you that they were the age.
So if you're talking about
age was exposed.
now,
So,
if you're talking about-
Bastoni.
See,
Bastoni.
No, so you just say something very important right now. If you're even talking about that, then probably Raya should have been there because Raya considered the first number of goals. And I don't
So in
realize.
terms of performance, you cannot take it away from Donnarumma.
See,
because
so
he
what I'm
was-
talking about.
That's
So
what we
was
are
constantly.
saying.
We know.
So
So
Declan
Declan
your
Rice deserves to
performance-
be there.
Absolutely.
Of course,
All
he
day
does.
long.
You have no business with
Every
it.
day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Well, that's why the Champions League are best 11 of the season. Of course, are 7 Paris Saint-Germain players in that squad, 2 Barcelona players, and 1 Inter Milan player, and of course 1 Arsenal player. They had to sneak him in. Of course, Declan Rice for him.
And
to
you're looking
also-
about the Arsenal player that they
also
denied
be
him the
there.
opportunity
But of
there.
course, all players for the best 11 came from the teams that reached the semi-final of the Champions League, so deservedly. So, well, maybe for William Saliba, there could have been a case for him
Now you
ahead
agreed.
of a Marquinhos, just maybe. But remember, for Paris Saint-Germain, when there was also a Pacho rather, who was
Yeah.
fantastic when he had to step into
was
the
so
team,
quiet.
but it was good.
That guy is
Yeah.
calm.
boy
No one
was
talks about
good.
him.
That guy is
Yeah.
so
I think I
quiet.
mentioned him.
Yeah,
in
you
the
did,
sentence
That
yeah.
guy
earlier.
is calm,
And he's
collected.
very
That guy
good.
has
You
his
saw him in the
future.
final.
I think
He
he's
has
from
a
Paraguay,
future.
right?
Yes, Pacho. I saw him in the final. Like I said, he's not.
They
He's
got-
not. He's
I'm
not making
thinking
too
of adding
much.
Pacho
He's not making
to
too
my name.
much.
That's how you see it.
I love that.
Pacho.
Pacho.
Welcome to the show. My name is Pacho.
The guy is so calm.
So calm.
He's dutifully
No,
doing his
and
job.
that's
Not
nice.
making
Pacho
noise.
Funnily, few
Carefully.
football ardents, few
Yeah.
football followers can
No,
even
he-
point to
he
him and say,
points
"Ah,
out-
look at Pacho here." But I watched his
He
performance
reminds me of a
against.
certain guy who does his work without making any then until when he was about to retire, the number created that role, they called him Makalele role. He just does his job quietly and easily and goes home happy. He's paid to defend, right? He defends. That's what Pacho does.
Well, that's the Champions League conversation. Congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain, the newest name on the wall. They have written their name in history. The 9th team to complete.
And he told you
a
the 10th is going to be
treble.
Arsenal.
The 9th
The
team
10th is going to be
to
Arsenal.
complete a treble.
No, so
Operation
Bishop,
Who becomes
confirm
the
it.
10th team
Yeah.
to complete
From
a
London,
European
from
treble.
London.
Now, Kari Sam has said it is going to be Arsenal. Then just to also, of course, correct myself, earlier when I asked that conversation, good one on Kari Sam, Ajax also won a treble. Two Dutch side won a treble, Ajax and Paris. PSV, one more team. Of course, outside of
So I got
top
it.
team. Yeah, you got 2, so
You
you
need
were
to
correct.
give. You need to
Give me flowers.
You need to give.
Of course, here's a flower for winning as our honorary flower every time we have who gets our question. But one more team has won a treble outside of Europe's top 5 clubs. And the team is from United Kingdom. And there's only one team you can ever think of. Let's hear from you in the comment section. Which team is that team? Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios.